Hello and welcome to the demo of Xtractly's Robot Maker. This version of Robot Maker is a Firefox plugin. To load the plugin, once you start Firefox, you need to press F12 or launch the Firebug panel. You can see the plugin here as a FireRobotConf panel loaded under Firebug. The plugin works with plugin backend, wherein we have configured thousands of URLs that the backend will serve to each fetch new job request from the plugin. This plugin version is customized to work with used cars websites. Let us click on Fetch New Job. The plugin will then load the next job from the queue for which we need to set a robot for. It will show some information about this particular job, the ID and the homepage URL. It will also load the homepage in the browser. Most of the used cars websites that we have a fixed pathway. On the home page, they directly have a link to the pre-owned inventory. And this is the pathway we need to set up for this robot too. To set up this pathway, we need to click on the select button, hover over to the element which will take us to the inventory page. We are only interested in the pre-owned inventory, and hence we just select this one element from the page. You can just verify that the plugin has captured the correct element by clicking on the show checkbox here. You can see that the plugin highlights the correct element. We can now proceed to the next step. The next step now is to follow this link that we just selected. As you can see, the plugin has loaded the inventory page in the browser, and this is the page where we see all the listings. Let us now give some hint to the plugin by selecting the element on the page which represents one listing. To do that, let us click on select button here, hover over to the element that you think represents one listing, click on show again to verify that the plugin has captured the correct element. You can see the plugin highlights the repeating rows on the page, and by just viewing this you are sure that the plugin has captured the correct element. Let us move ahead to the next step. The next step now is to set up individual fields that we find on the target page. Since this plugin version is customized to work with used cars website, we have a list of fields here customized to the used cars listings. We see we have a heading field on the page, we have the photo, we have the price, color, the VIN number, the stock number. Once we select the fields to set up, we can then proceed to the next step. On the next step, we need to select individual fields. Let me first set heading. I click on select button here and hover over to the first heading and set it. I can just take a preview of this selection. It highlights correctly. I can then select the photo element from the page. Again take a preview of it. That too works well. I can select price and I can click on show. It selects all prices from the page. It outlines the extracted elements in blue. Let us now set the color field. There are two ways you can set fields in the plugin. One is by selecting the value and the other one is by selecting the label. Let us try and set the color field by using the label. To set a field using label, we need to click on use label checkbox, click on select and then select the label instead of value this time. I click on the label. Let us then select VIN number by using the label. Click on select and check the use label checkbox and select the label heading. Let us verify whether it extracts properly or not. As you can see, by using the label, it has extracted the correct element from the page. Let us go and set stock number as well by using the label. And we're done here. Let us go to the next step. We now need to tell the robot the next page link that it needs to follow in order to get data from all pages from page 2 till the end. The method here is again the same. Click on select and hover over to the element. Click on the element. It captures the element. You can just preview it again out here. Let us go to the next step. On the target page, we usually do not get all the fields. We need to also tell the robot to traverse the more info page for each of the listings, or the page wherein we have more data per listing. To do that, let us set a more info link on the page. Click on select. On this page we can either select the heading or we can select the view details button that we see here as a more info link. Let me select the heading here. To do that, hover over to an element that is usually an anchor which takes us to the listings detail page. It captures it correctly. Let us move to the next step. Now let us follow one of the more info pages and set up fields on the more info page. If you click on this button, follow more info page, you can see the plugin has loaded the more info page in the view, and you can also see a list of fields that we can set on this particular page. Let us set the miles field, as it is an important field for a used cars listing. I'll be setting the miles field using the label. I'll hover over to the label and select the label and then just verify. Let me just select and set the details field and then the description, as in the seller comments. We will set this up using the label. Highlight the label and then just verify. We have the rest of the fields set for the robot. We can now proceed to the next step. We have done setting up the pathways and the fields for the robot. It is time now to save the robot with some comments if you wish to. Once you click on save robot button, the robot will be saved and you get a unique robot ID back. In the next video, we will see how the admin will approve and schedule this robot and review the data that has been extracted by this robot. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.